ring, and it is scheduled for one fall. And it's for the Hybrid School of Wrestling Tag Team Championship.
I want everybody to say about the bed.
Come on, make some noise! There we go.
Well, fans, this is the Hybrid School of Wrestling Coast to Coast Invasion. I am Mike Wilkes.
Being joined by Dr. the Wife.
And this is the Flamingo King, Brandon Weiss, not with his usual tag team partner here tonight, Doc.
Oh! Vintage! Danny Vintage!
That's right, the man straight out of your favorite cable TV show, Danny Vintage himself, joining the Flamingo King, Brandon Weiss, here at Coast to Coast Invasion.
And it sounds like the fan. I see lots of V's in the air cheering on Vintage.
Yeah, you know what you see? You can call them what they are, Doc. You see a lot of idiots here tonight.
Idiots. Wow. Here we go. Mike Wilkes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, somebody's got to be the honest one at the table here, Doc, and I'll gladly take that up. Brandon Weiss, Danny Vintage. Again, Brandon Weiss, an accomplished tag team competitor, Doc, but that is with a completely different wrestler, normally part of the Floppy Brawlers with Casey Blackrose. Brandon Weiss bringing his own tag team knowledge to this, but is Danny Vintage ready to carry his weight, for lack of a better term, in this tag team here tonight?
We know that Brandon Weiss has been able to have a hive mentality, so to speak, with his usual partner, Casey Blackrose. Now the question is this going to be the same with Vintage Danny Vintage? Will Vintage Danny Vintage use the airwaves to project their thoughts into Brandon Weiss?
Well, hey, if that's what works for him, Brandon Weiss better hopes he does, because they are going up not against any tag team, they are going up against your hybrid tag team champions.
Wait a minute. The tag team champions who are sporting the colors of United 2-1-0.
Well, hey, you know what we say over there, Doc? If they can't come to the yard, we got to bring the yard to them. And this is no different.
Studsdash coming over, El Bigote, with his magnificent mustache, and the Regal Royal, the Hellraiser himself, King Rob Love. They're coming into this match looking fantastic. The tag team champions here at the Hybrid School of Wrestling.
And have every reason to be looking as fantastic as they are. The Texas Kingdom are just that, rulers of everything they foresee in the tag team division.
And I'm listening to fans definitely singing along to Hellraiser, heralding the champions back into the Hybrid School of Wrestling ring. This hybrid experience has elevated.
Absolutely. I'm in agreement with you there, but I can't help but look at their opponents, Brandon Weiss, Vintage Danny Vintage, the Texas Kingdom. Doc, you and I both know all too well the Texas Kingdom, to say that they're on the same page, that's putting it lightly. These two are one unit.
School of Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, the challengers in the corner to my right. First, from TV Land, he is the host of the Vintage Danny Vintage Show, Vintage Danny Vintage! And his partner from Cocoa Beach, Florida, he is the Flamingo King, also known as Lucha Mingo, but you can call him Daddy Mingo. This is Brandon Weiss. Daddy Mingo. Daddy Mingo! Daddy Mingo! And their opponents.
I think that's the first time that chant has ever broken out.
They are your current Hybrid School of Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the team of the King, Rob Love, the toughest mustache in all of Texas, Studsdash,
Kingdom, but got a nice bit of trivia for you there, Doc.
Okay.
Did you know the Vintage Danny Vintage show, the only show in television history to consecutively have 0 viewers?
0 view. You have no faith. He has at least 1 viewer, me.
You're the
I
one.
thoroughly enjoy the Vintage Danny Vintage TV show.
Oh, well, that's a pity watch if I ever heard it. Texas
Pity
Kingdom
watch.
getting us started with these fans in attendance.
This man knows nothing about good TV.
You know, you don't have to hate watch anything. You don't have to watch a show.
His show's entertaining. His show's well put together. His show is interesting, informative.
Okay, well, lying is bad for you, so please stop that. Brandon Weiss and Stud Stash starting us off in this tag team event for your hybrid tag team championships. Gotta say, if I'm Brandon Weiss, I'm not really liking this matchup right now. Being across the ring from Stud Stash is never where you want to be.
Brandon Weiss is all smiles right now because they know that all they have to do is keep their eye on the prize. And it's 2 prizes, as a matter of fact, tonight. Both tag team championships are on the line. And he's going to have to work really hard because he's against the big man, Stud Stash.
I think Brandon Weiss has a good game plan there, trying to take the wheels out from under Stud Stash, but the big man just laughing at the Flamingo's assault, shoving Brandon Weiss back almost across the ring entirely.
This is a man who's well known in the deathmatch circuit, taking damage and just laughing through the pain, using knee strikes to go against the big guys. He's able to push him back into the turnbuckles. But I wonder, is this damage being taken by Stud Stash, or is Brandon Weiss giving himself the damage?
I mean, Stud Stash is one of those guys you wonder if he does feel any pain, just like you said, Doc. Getting known on the deathmatch scene here in Texas for taking absolutely no prisoners has made men across the state, across the country, across international borders bleed buckets in the middle of that ring. And if Danny Vintage and Brandon Weiss aren't careful, they may be next, but they look good right now, but unable to get the pin.
Danny Vintage is now the legal person in, checking with the ref. But they're just going to have to push through, change the channel, and get that mindset together. Everyone's throwing them up, ready to go. Looks like Stud Stash is tagging in King Rob Love.
I do think this is a smart tactic on the Texas Kingdom to see the visible frustration on Stud Stash, but has the wherewithal to not let that get into his head, throw him off the game plan, tags in King Rob Love to tackle Vintage Danny Vintage.
There's a definite size difference in terms of strength between Rob Love and Danny Vintage, but Danny's not going to let that stop them.
Looks like it's stopping pretty well. That same strike advantage you were just talking about, sending Danny Vintage to the mat with that big shoulder tackle, and the King sends him down again, just a hard knife edge chop.
And he's taunting Danny Vintage, throwing up the "oh yeah" instead of the Vintage Danny Vintage signals.
Well, I mean, do you blame him? Who wants to throw that?
Oh, come on. I know you really wanted to. I saw you itching to hide those hands.
Absolutely not. That was one finger, not 2.
Oh,
Danny
my
Vintage
God.
on the attack in the corner.
Throwing King Rob Love over into the middle of the ring. It's TV time! Taking Rob Love down, holding legs, pressing forward, but unfortunately Rob Love is able to kick out.
I don't know about unfortunately. I think that's just poor planning and being a little bit too eager on behalf of Danny Vintage. There's no way that the King himself, Rob Love, is going to be put away this early into the match. And Danny Vintage finding that out right now. I respect him going for the pin, but he's definitely got to bring a little bit more to the table if he wants to walk away with the 3. Rob Love knowing exactly what it takes, that hard right hand.
Danny Vintage is holding his head but taking it off. Up again now, not a great place to be. Too close to Stud Stash. His hands up and takes a chop right to the chest, tagging in El Bigote. Stud Stash coming in.
The enforcer, once again, the legal man. Danny Vintage managing to get out of the corner.
There it is.
A TV remote.
Whoa.
He's got a universal remote.
He couldn't chop this tree down. He's going as hard as he can, using the rope, but he's only bouncing off Stud
Are you
Stash.
kidding me? Wait, so you're okay with this now? Wait,
Hey.
is this part of a wrestling match
Look
now,
at-
Doc? What is happening?
Whoa. Even Brandon Weiss is able to use the remote. Got it too. Stud
How
Stash
is the
not
use
understanding.
of an illegal object okay in a tag team championship match? Can you please explain that to me?
First
Can you
of all,
please
yes.
justify how this is legal in the rules of a wrestling ring, Doc? You're the doctor here, aren't you? Please explain it to me.
Easily. Stud Stash was not hit with the object. The object was used outside the ring by Brandon Weiss.
You've got to be kidding me. You and your technicalities. I tell you what, those technicalities didn't save Danny Vintage from that big headbutt from the enforcer Stud Stash. The antics with that remote control aside, the Kingdom's still in control.
He's taking it out on Vintage. Danny Vintage taking big, vicious headbutts to the cranium, tagging in King Rob Love as he's holding the arm of Danny Vintage. Now Rob Love going for that shoulder. Stud Stash coming out, taking a quick break. Watching on as Rob Love picks up Danny Vintage. He's just playing with him.
Oh, and a running body slam by King Rob Love, Danny Vintage. Finding out that everything in TV land may not be what it's cut out to be as he's caught in the submission maneuver. That rear chin lock is him pulling back Danny Vintage over the knee, but Danny Vintage does manage to get to his feet. Can he fight King Rob Love off?
Of course he can. Throwing those elbows, adjusting the static, the antennas, going to work to find the proper signal. Bounces off the rope. Ooh, taken down by Rob Love. Rob Love rolling him over, going for the cover, holding his hands down, but Danny Vintage using his lower half to push through and get back up.
Exactly the trade-off when you make a pin like that. You are able to secure your opponent's shoulders, but you sacrifice the weight and the leverage on the lower half of the body. Hold on, Stud Stash now. Oh, just planting that kick in the ribs of Danny Vintage as King Rob Love held him in that stretch. That's the type of tag team offense that has gotten them to where they are today with all the gold they have, and it's going to very well see them through with the victory here.
Looks like Stud Stash was shaking something off.
Yeah, I think that's the blood from Danny Vintage, maybe. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's decided to knock off some of those cobwebs. Danny Vintage may have done just that. That jawbreaker, just what he needed at just the right time. Makes the tag to Brandon Weiss.
Flying in right over the top rope. Big elbow to Stud Stash. He's going to continue slowly chipping away at Stud Stash, who's looking quite dazed. Ooh, uses the ropes right off the second rope. Gets a big kick into Stud Stash, double drop kick into the turnbuckles on the other side. Brandon Weiss flying through. Ooh, caught.
Caught in a bear hug by Stud Stash and going right to the opposite corner. A stampede into the opposing turnbuckle. Not where Brandon Weiss wants to be. Oh, and we're not done. Belly to belly suplex with authority. Plants Brandon Weiss in the middle of the ring, going for the pin. No.
Only two.
But even not hitting that pin dog, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do want to point out that Stud Stash is just having his way, one with Brandon Weiss here in the middle of the ring, but two, even not picking up the win with that belly-to-belly suplex. The absolute damage that that's going to do is absolutely going to factor in as King Rob Love back in the action now.
Danny Vintage is very upset. He's wanting to tag out with Brandon Weiss, who he knows needs to get out quickly because you can see that the damage is being done by King Rob Love. But I know that the Flamingo King, the Lucha Mingo is going to push through this and get on top again.
He does manage to kick out another pin attempt by King Rob Love. Again, the King trying to secure that leverage, but gets caught by Brandon Weiss.
Those long legs coming in just in the nick of time.
Rob Love managing to, well, I was going to say avoid disaster, but the look on his face looks like that had the intended effect. To his credit, though, it does hit the double axe handle, not letting it slow him down as he goes right back on the attack.
He's bludgeoning Brandon Weiss over on the back. Brandon taking lots of damage to the spine, the muscles of his back, also feeling it, but the fans want Daddy Mingo to come back.
Who cares what they want? These fans are not in there in the ring with Rob Love. They're not in there in the ring with Stud Stash. If they were, I promise you, every single one of these people in this crowd will be singing a much different tune right now.
They're showing support. You really don't want to discredit fans who are here behind the wrestler who just, by the way, he gave his teeth his mandibles some exercise, breaking his jaw. But Stud Stash looking on as Rob Love was able to come crashing through and sending Weiss to the canvas.
And Stud Stash now getting the tag. Once again, the legal man, the Texas Kingdom using these good tag team tactics. The diving headbutt while Brandon Weiss is held in place. Again, just so much weight and strength coming down, and the enforcer is on the attack. Brandon Weiss finding that out firsthand, despite how much he may wish he wasn't.
That's a lot of man to come crashing down on top of him. Brandon Weiss, we know, has it in him to pull the fire right. Ooh!
The Codebreaker does take Studstash down. One of the rare moments where the big man is taken off his feet. But the question, as always, Doc, can Brandon Weiss get to his feet? Can he capitalize on this moment and make something happen for his team? You see Studstash slowly making his way to friendly territory, trying to get King Rob Loving, but hold on, he's going to the wrong corner, a little dazed. May not be sure where he's at.
He thought he had a tag, but only grabbed the rope. But Flamingo King goes in, he gets the tag. Vintage back in. King Rob Love also back in. Clothesline takes down Rob Love. Another one sends Rob Love crashing to the canvas.
King Rob Love reverses the Irish whip, sends Danny Vintage into the corner, but gets caught. The stomp takes him down. Vintage.
Oh, he's made a declaration. Elbow drop. He goes for the cover. Can he keep Rob Love?
No, just a two. King Rob Love managing to get the elbow up. Danny Vintage looked like he thought he had it with that one.
He's calling for it again. Vintage throws him up. Rob Love sent to the other side. Oh, wait, he reverses, sends Vintage into the ropes. Vintage running around, through, underneath. Oh, no!
Spine buster right down to the canvas. King Rob Love going for the pin. Is this going to be it? No! Brandon Weiss breaking it up. Very well could have kept his team alive in this match, but was it worth it? The big man Studstash again involving himself in the match. Oh, here we go, Doc. We've seen this plenty of times. The Texas Kingdom has a hook. Hold on. Going for the Magic Killer, but Danny Vintage fights out of it.
But Rob Love picks him up. Danny Vintage is able to push through. Somebody loses something, but never mind that. Rob Love going for the Flamingo King. Oh, the Flamingo King going for Studstash.
And gets caught instead. Tour of the South Side to Brandon Weiss.
But wait, Danny Vintage is on the top turnbuckle. Opposite the big man who looks like he is trying to struggle to stay on his feet. Crossbody caught by Studstash, but here comes Rob Love. Oh no.
And here we go, just the strength of Studstash on display. The teamwork of the Texas Kingdom hitting the Magic Killer.
Is this gonna be it?
2, 3. Good night, Danny.
A valiant effort by Vintage, Danny Vintage, and Brandon Weiss, but they were not able to break through. How connected.
Whoa, Doc, hold on a second. What about this development just had in front of us? These two behemoths making their way out of the back. Of course, we know K-Jax. And how about this giant man in front of us, the big hitter himself? Hit has made his presence known. K-Jax, of course, been a force of nature here at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. Hit has been trained by the legend himself, the natural Dustin Rhodes, a former champion. And all 4 of these big men are going at it in the middle of the ring.
Oh my goodness. Hit's really going for it. Rob Love is taking damage from Hit, who's taking him to the turnbuckle. Takes a big chop to the chest. K-Jax with the big man going toe-to-toe. Good Lord, a big kick to Rob Love, and he turns his attention to Studstash.
King Rob Love may have been knocked out with that gigantic pump kick right across the face. Studstash, a formidable opponent regularly, but he's up in there against 2 monsters, much less after the battle he just had. And Big Hit coming in with a head spear. Almost went right through Studstash.
Studstash got hit, and it looks like he's trying to recover, but Hit staring down Studstash. K-Jax going for a mic.
Hold on, I'm gonna let him say his piece. I'm not gonna stop him.
The Kingdom, know this. You might have beat me before, only because I never picked my partners. But now K-Jax has his turn. And new generation is forming. And you know who I picked? There's a monster and an alpha, a behemoth and a beast. This is the day of the powerhouse syndicates. Now, Hit, what just happened here? Shots fired.
Okay, Joe. Put me in that right So it looks like K-Jax has said his piece. Hit has made also a very strong declaration, putting a big boot to both of them. King Rob Love on the ground, Studs Tash also on the ground, the tag team champions. What are you gonna do here?
What can you do? And what can you do against these monsters, these absolute forces of nature that have made their impact here? The Texas Kingdom, again, Titans here in the tag team division. They are the champions for a reason, have earned it time and time again, but just look at what they are up against. K-Jax and Hit, if they are a cohesive unit here, this entire division is in trouble.
We're gonna have to see where this goes because, of course, anybody's up for a fight here, especially when you have champions in the mix.